Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Talk It Out with Queen, aka Misty. I'm your host, Queen, aka Misty, from the Valley. When I first introduced this episode, I told you that I'm still in the dating scene, which I am, and I'm sure I'm not alone. And I just wanted to start off the show with this topic about deal breakers. And when something happens that's a deal breaker for you, you can no longer see the person, you want to move on. Well, I happen to have a lot of deal breakers, and I've been told that I'm too picky. So I just want to talk it out with you, and maybe you can help me, you know, lower my list of deal breakers, or just give me some suggestions. And you could talk about your deal breakers, and I can give you some suggestions. And we can just talk to each other and work some things out. And if someone's listening, maybe we can be helping them also. As I also said that I will be naming my VIP viewers at the end of each episode, and I have quite a few which I will be naming later on in the show. So let's just jump right into it. We have a comment from the Phil 37. He says his deal breaker is if the woman is not respectable, there's no good communication, and if she's not a clean and true Christian. Everyone has their level of tolerance, and that is the opinion of the Phil 37. That's what he feels is a deal breaker for him. Now, the Phil 37 got a comment from a young lady by the name of Pam. She feels by this comment being made by the Phil 37 that he must be young because there's no such thing as a true Christian and a clean Christian because we all have faults and we all have to choose on which faults we're willing to live with. Now, as she also says, no one's perfect, and I believe that wholeheartedly, Pam. I agree with you 100%. I am going to give the Phil 37 a chance to rebuttal. Maybe we can talk this out, and I think it's going to be very interesting because I kind of side with both of you. I really wouldn't know what to do if I met someone that I really, really liked, but they was maybe on the fence, maybe learning how to become a better Christian or just have different views from my views. You're not going to meet your twin. That's my opinion. You're not going to meet your twin. And I feel that you have to have a window of compromise. Um, and I think that would work for a lot of people. Now, I'm going to be very honest. My window of compromise has been closed for a long time, which is why I'm here, because maybe you can help me open it up. And what I'm going to do is while we're waiting for a response to Pam's rebuttal to the Phil 37, I'm going to let you know of a deal breaker that was for me. I'm in the dating scene, as I said, and I joined a dating site, and I met a gentleman who wanted to take me to breakfast, which I let him take me to breakfast. And he had a very nice conversation, was not bad looking, and the breakfast went fine. The waitress brought the check, and she put the check in the middle of the table. She didn't put it toward me or toward him, which I thought was great. He grabbed the check, and I was like, wow, okay. He grabbed the check. He looked at the check, studied the check like it was a history exam. And I started getting worried. And then, out of the blue, with no shame in his game, pushed the check to me and said, I'll get the tip. Didn't even want to pay for his portion, just wants to give the tip. And I'm going to be very honest, I don't even know if he left $2. I was so angry, I couldn't even see straight. That was my deal breaker. So you tell me, was I too hasty? Was I wrong? I never saw him again. I never wanted to talk to him again. I thought that it was not appropriate to assume I had enough money for both of us. Or he could have told me before we went to the restaurant that he didn't have a lot of money. Anything. Communication is so important, even from the first meeting. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. And I'm sorry, my first impression was I don't want to see him again. So maybe you can tell me if I needed to do something different. I don't know. But yeah, that was one of my deal breakers. And this episode is going to be one sided for a while until I start to get feedback. And I'm really, really hoping to get some feedback. And we don't always have to talk about deal breakers. Like I said before, you are welcome to give me your topic of discussion. One of the things that I would like to do eventually is to pay tribute to single parents, because I myself don't have children, but I am so overwhelmed when I see people just raising kids by themselves, men and women. So I would love to know how you do it. What do you go through and how do you get through it? Because I know it's not easy. And there are a lot of people who are out there who don't think they can do it. And maybe that you can give them some suggestions on how they can do it. Because I know people personally who went to school, who finished the highest of their grades after having their kid. They did not let it stop them from succeeding. And I really take my hat off to them. I really do. And I would love to hear from anybody who's doing that and who has done it, and put it out there. Be proud of yourself, because you're someone to be proud of. And we can talk about that, and we can talk about anything you want to. So until I hear from you for more people, and I'm going to be putting more posts on Facebook. If there's things that you don't want to say on YouTube or whatever, I will post it on, go to my Facebook page, Yvette Samuels, and give me a private message. I can bring up things anonymously and we can talk about it. And once again, I do want to thank you for joining me for this episode. And I will be bearing my soul to you, because I need help. I would like help. And there's no shame in asking for help. You're not going to get it if you don't ask. I don't want to be single for the rest of my life. And there are other things that we can talk about that I need help with, that I would love to hear about. And so if you have a suggestion, please put it out there. And as I promised before, I am going to be thanking my VIP viewers at the end of every episode. So here we go. This is a special thank you to you for just supporting me this early in the game. And I want to make sure I thank you every time I go on the air. So I'm thanking Phil, 37, Pam Gallegos, Free Smith, thank you, Monica Jocks, Joe Belkovich, Bobby Pulley, thank you, cuz, Tracy Miller Myers, Lourdes Torres Santiago, I hope I said that right, Monique Delgado, LaShonda Bolton. Thank you so much. And if I forgot anybody, hit me up on my Facebook page, Yvette Samuels. I will make sure I get you right the second time around. I want to make sure that I pronounce your name right, because I really do thank you for supporting me through this beginning times. And I want this to go further, and I want you to be with me as I go through it. This is going to get better, and we're going to have more discussions and more topics to talk about. And we're going to, if nothing else, we're going to be friends. Okay? So even if it's traumatic, if it's drama, I want to hear about it. I want to talk about it. If there's something that you personally are going through and you need help, but you want to be anonymous, hit me up on Facebook. Let me hear about your issues. And if I can't help you, which I'm no professional, let me find someone that can. Let's just talk it out and be friends. And hopefully I will see you here next week. Hit me up anytime. And until then, have a blessed week. And remember, your queen has spoken. Ciao.